a bachelorette is like 8 people, right? And like we're all like almost like fighting to who loves the bride the most. Whereas like any dude I've ever talked to is like, yeah, so like my one friend from high school who's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had and like hits babies, like that's my boy. And like him and I are just gonna go fishing. Boy. Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody else gets me like he gets me. Yeah. Like I would die for him, you know?
I know, it's so wild.
Yeah, and it's like it's funny, I think, especially with like all the pieces of it, it becomes like so steered away from like the couple joining their lives together and into this like it not always, right, but like it can develop into this like thing that's like outside of like what it's actually supposed to be about.
I know, everyone's like do whatever you want for your wedding. I'm like, okay, but everybody else wants me to want something else. So what?
Yeah. Are your families involved? Like, are they?
I mean, honestly, I think they don't really care.
Yeah,
to be completely frank.
Because you guys have been together for 5 years, you say? Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is I'm like, why do I have to buy everybody dinner? Buy your own dinner.
Yeah. BYO.
Why is I can barely buy my own dinner. How come I have to buy dinner? You guys do it.
You don't have to buy.
You want to come to the party so bad?
Yeah.
Contribute. Famously, people do contribute. They famously bring you a gift.
But you gotta cash out that initial fee.
It is kind of crazy to me. Like my best friend he just got engaged as well. And like, it is funny to talk about this with him because he's like, you do have to think that you almost have to like do the math of what people are going to give you. I'm like, that feels so icky.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel weird?
It does feel weird to like put everybody in a spreadsheet and be like, well, you make about this, so I feel like you'd give me this much. Like,
okay, can we also talk about this? This never occurred to me, and maybe I'm just like a dud, but I have a friend who went to a wedding recently that was like really swank, like really, really swanky. And so she was like, well, I'm giving them money based on the type of wedding that they're having.
Oh.
And so I was like, well, what do you mean? And she was like, well, because I know that they spent more, I'm giving them more. And I'm like, that's not your responsibility.
Right. That was like, their choice to ball out on their wedding.
Isn't it? Yeah. But apparently that's like, I don't know, maybe I'm way off base here, but like she was giving them, I think like $225 per person, like her and her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like all my savings.
Oh,
it's just gone to somebody's
lucky
wedding.
You to have that set aside, that little nest egg.
Is crazy though.
She has a big girl.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for her. It must be nice. Are you planning to do like a proper ceremony? Are you going to do a bachelorette? Are you going to do a shower? Like, you're not subscribing to any of these things?
I'm not. I know. I don't want to be like, I don't know. I'm like, what would we do? I'm not fun anymore.
Right.
You know, like I'm 35. I'm like, I just want to stay home and watch Selling Sunset. Does anyone want to come over? That can be the thing.
Yeah, you can bring your own snacks because again, I'm not providing food.
No,
we don't have enough money.
No, I
we don't have
like
enough for that. Yeah. You want some stray pumpkin spice lattes that are half drank. You can have those, but
no, I think bachelorettes can be really fun. Mm-hmm. They can be really fun. I do think that there's like, especially with women, there's like a lot of financial implications.
Yes. Yeah.
As someone who's never had like a proper job because I've been doing stand-up for quite a long time, mm-hmm. I'm like, yikes.
Yeah. Well, and what I think becomes unfortunate with that is it's not just about like, obviously like everything costs money, you know, even going out for dinner with your friends, that costs money, right? But like, it becomes like a thing where it's like, oh, but if you can't come or you can't participate in this, then it means something. Friend. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like extrapolated to that, which is just like, what?
I know.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a bachelorette where you were like, oh, maybe I'm going in credit card debt to get here?
Yeah. This is one of my best friends and I love her and I love her. I love you. But we went on I was a barista at the time. Okay. And we went.
Wait, sorry, you were a barista and you never tried a pumpkin spice latte?
No, isn't that criminal?
That's criminal.
Yeah,
I think you should get fired for that.
I know. Retroactively. My boss calls.
By the way, you quit, but you're also fired.
I know. It's actually like so.
Yeah. Bad, okay, so you're a barista. You're not rolling in it.
No, I'm making minimum wage, and her bachelorette was in the Hamptons.
Oh.
And I was like,
I'll walk there.
I will see you guys there. I'm like biking along the coast.
Right.
I had a great time. I had the time of my life.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
This is like the type of restaurant that we were at. Judd Apatow was there with his whole family.
Okay.
And I was like,
okay, so that's a business expense. You were networking.
It's like, I'll have a glass of water and a side salad. Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you that. What tips do you have for being the poorest girl at the Bachelorette?
Oh my gosh. You just have to be so fun. You have to be bringing the vibes so hard that people forget that you're like, oh, I'm actually not going to be splitting the bill.
Right.
We're actually not going to be splitting it 8 ways.
I just gave you guys 10 minutes of material for free. That should more than cover my share, actually.
It's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, that is such a funny thing too, when you're like so broke and you go to like a dinner with people and they're like, yeah, we're going to get a bunch of bottles of whatever. And it's like, it's so stressful.
Yeah.
I feel
because you're tallying it up in your head and like,
you can't enjoy yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And again, it's not about like the friendship and like being there. No. I don't know. Sometimes like I've e-transferred girls money for trips or bachelorettes or whatever. And I'm just like, don't know where that went.
Have you been on a lot of bachelorettes?
I've only been to one bachelorette. Yeah. And it was an interesting case because it was a joint. My friend who was getting married, her little sister was also getting married that same summer. Okay. So they did like a joint bachelorette together, which was like kind of fun. But it was like, I think a bachelorette in general is like mixing of friend groups, but then it was like the separate, like completely like new people that I've like never even like heard of kind of thing from like the sisters' friends. And like, it was fun. Like we all had a really nice time and like, it was relaxing in some senses, but it was very scheduled because then there was like 2 bridal parties planning things for everybody. And like, that's just for me personally, like that's not the way I usually hang out. No. So like having scheduled activities from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. Like I was really like, love my friend, love you so much, would do it again for 5 days in a row if I had to. But it was like, if I found it exhausting and just like the things of, you know, there was like, obviously I found myself getting really competitive at the games of like, you know, and I'm like, I'm the best friend, you know, and I'm like, why am I doing? Also, we're all here because we all love this person and like wish her well on this like next like chapter of her life. Like it's not about me getting like the perfect score on like.
I know, you're actually making me want to have a bachelorette. I want to see who loves me the most.
You actually should pit all your friends against each other. And then there's like, we didn't have any like costumes or like costumes. Well, they were kind of or like the theme, you know, that kind of thing. But it's that wild. And it also wasn't expensive. We did like a little cottage weekend. So like, but it was cute.
Fun,
it was chill.
Yes. That's fun because it's like you would do that with your friends anyways.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But oh my gosh, I know.
And
like,
I haven't been to that many, to be honest.
Yeah.
Most of my friends have been
You've never
relaxed.
been to a joint bachelorette where it's more than one person. I found that. So I told my friend afterwards. So I'm a triplet. I have a brother and a sister that were all born on the same day. And I told her afterwards, I was like, you know, as a triplet who's had to share like all of my monumental life moments with people, like I would be very selfish about like I would never ever like never get out bitch, like I actually don't care. No, but it's so true though, like bachelorettes can be so much money for people, and I feel like there's always like one girl you're transferring all the money to, and I think it's funny when sometimes it happens. Well, I'll show you this TikTok of somebody explaining how you can turn a bachelorette as a maid of honor into a multi-level marketing scheme, and I think we need to normalize that.
Just a word of caution for all other maids of honor out there who are gonna like hold on to everyone's money for the bachelorette trip. Maybe don't be that one, because you can't understand how fucking uppity and anal everyone is about their money and how they can't see the bigger picture. Like people just have no idea, because I realized I had $8,000 in my account from all the bridesmaids Venmoing me. And I was like, am I gonna let this money sit in my account, or am I gonna bet this on horses and maybe double it, maybe even quadruple it, quintuple it? And then instead of having to go to Nashville, we could go to Dubai, we could go to Mykonos, and then that's my present for my friend, the bride. I don't really care about these other girls, kind of relevant. Anyway, so one of the girls gets knocked up. She can't go on the trip anymore. And she's like, hey, could I have my share back? And I'm like, not until Peter Griffin, that's my horse, competes. And she, oh my God, she freaks out. She's blowing up my phone. What do you mean? What do you mean? And then this little worrywart, she tells all the other bridesmaids, and then, they're all in the group chat. What do you mean? What do you mean you bet all the money on horses? I didn't bet all the money on horses. I bet all the money on Peter Griffin, a horse who's got the strongest legs this county's ever seen. We're gonna get the money back. We're gonna get the money back tenfold. We could maybe send this little baby, this little bastard, to college. And it's gonna need good college with a mom who doesn't understand that you gotta make your money work for you.
Oh my God.
Maybe I could raise the baby.
Oh my God.
Would you do that? Would you just say, everybody, come to my house house to watch Selling Sunset? It's $100 entry.
Yeah, except no one would ever trust me with their money. Everyone would be like, I'll give it to you when I see you.
Totally. Yeah. So you're not good with money, so that's why you're not having a bachelor.
Oh, God. I'm not good at anything. No, I'm not. I just like I don't, it's so funny. I don't know what it is. Like, I never even considered having one until you literally just asked me.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sorry,
really what it
anxiety
is.
Unlocked. Yeah.
Like, I never thought about it.
You didn't go to your friends' bachelorettes being like, I'm gonna make all you bitches pay me back.
No, I know. And it's funny because like I do know anytime I've been at a wedding, just being like, oh, well, one day I'll do this. And then like, it'll even the score.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in it, I'm like, I don't want to plan anything.
Right.
Are you guys nuts?
You're like,
no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. What tips would you give for any brides to be?
Well, I haven't done it yet.
You seem like you're managing it really well by not doing anything. And
I know,
really
it's not so funny. I'm going to be one of those people that's just engaged till they're dead.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, but I think that's hot. That's sexy because like fiance, it's like
chic.
you guys, that's modern. Something about it sounds like European too. I think because it's like a French word. And like fiance is like you guys are fucking, you guys are going on nice, expensive holidays. You're like feeding grapes to each other in the afternoon every day.
Here's what I will say. If you are engaged, you are a bride to be, you can have a bachelorette, you can have an engagement party, you can have a bridal shower, all of which you're going to have so much fun. You're going to get gifts. You're going to look gorgeous. You don't actually have to get married. You can pull the plug at any time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, that actually sounds, because I don't know if I want a husband, but I would really like a wedding because I actually
Have a
would
wedding.
love that attention.
Have a wedding.
Did you see the there was one woman who married herself, and then did you hear she's divorced herself?
Yeah, she's prioritizing herself.
Yeah, I love that. I'm also like, how? Yeah, no, I feel like every time I've like gotten into a spiral of depression, I'm like, I would love to divorce myself. Actually, like, how can I
would love to
make
take a
this
break
voice?
from her.